Hello Pisces, I am Ulrich, I'm a Normand card reader, but this time we will use a financial deck for your card reading. The deck contains 44 cards and the laying is done with 3 cards, which you see here in front of me. You can also see 4 objects here, meaning we will do 4 card readings for each astrological sign for the month of September, and this video here is for Pisces. Now, from these 4 objects, you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you feel most comfortable with. This object of your choice, it should, or it will relate the best to your current financial situation or the advice that you are receiving from the cards regarding that financial situation. Of course, you can watch all 4 videos related to the Pisces sign, and after you watched all 4 videos, then you can decide which symbol or object is fitting your personal card reading the best. So Pisces, here we go for your card reading for September 2021. Hello Pisces, and welcome to the Shell or the Water Group for your card reading for September 2021. That is the financial card reading. So as the first card here, you see immediate satisfaction. What does that mean? Well, we live in a world of overconsumption, and we have a lot of things that are offered to you. In order to get control over your awareness and control over your finances, sometimes we need to restrict ourselves a little bit. This card tells you that happiness does not necessarily comes with the buying of a fleeting object. Maybe you're always looking for small objects for satisfying you instantly, but maybe this does not satisfy you on the long run. Maybe you should ask yourself, how long does this feeling last? And is this game really worth the efforts? Now, society teaches us that in order to be happy, we must consume all the time and preferably as much as possible. If we follow TV commercials, it's unthinkable that we are satisfied without the last new car, that we are wearing the latest clothes, we have the newest gadgets, we have the last electronics. So eventually we don't know anymore where you are. We work hard every day, and the more you work, the more we spend. But sometimes buying these small objects or these small things, it doesn't really satisfy us. The thing is also, by always buying small object or we spend small amount of money, this multiplies. And the end of the month, when we calculate, we have a lot of small amounts, but it multiplies up and it becomes a lot. It's like a nefast trend is following us, and it's like here this card asks you to transform that. You transform the way you act, and it's like it wants you to more looking for another form of happiness, like you search for lasting happiness, like something that satisfies you really on the long run, and maybe you can save some amount of money and then you buy that really brings you satisfaction on the long run. So this card asks you to control your impulses and use your money wisely. Here, the next card is, this card asks you, you see the pig here, and the pig is protected by the umbrella. So this card asks you to prepare yourself if times could get or are getting worse. So this card asks you to build up a fund. So no matter in what area of life there always be storms in our life. When it comes to money, it's unrealistic that we need to think we don't need to prepare ourselves for the inclemencies of life. This card asks you, do you have enough insurances? Do you have a safety cushion for savings? Have you foreseen the unforeseen? This is what this card asks you. because sometimes life around us is unpredictable. We never know what is coming. So this card asks you to be cautious, to foresee the things that are unforeseeable. Because if something would happen, would you be ready to face a financial turmoil, or would you be able to face a sudden disruption? How did you prepare? So this is what this card asks you. You can also ask, do you have enough insurance? Is your income stable? These are all questions asked by this card. And also it asks you, you see the pig here, if you have some small savings for a bad period, or do you spend all you earn? It also asks you, let's assume you get a pay cut, would you be able to survive with that? So this card asks you in general to reflect on these things and foresee the unforeseen. So it asks you to act in control, and also here connected to this card, like control your impulses. It asks you to act in control, and if necessarily, you can cope with the unforeseen. Then the last card here, it's the card of resilience. What does that mean? Well, the resilience, it's like, it's an ability to accept the benefits of whatever circumstances you are in. Even if you come in financial difficulties or difficult problems, it's related to this card. Resilience can be great if you come in a certain difficult period. This card asks you to be resilient if you face difficult times, or in the future you might face difficult times. It's not yet here connected, but it's like the laying here, it's like it's wants to protect you. It wants to protect you for if times would get worse. It asks you to build a security cushion. This is what is the whole laying here is about. So it's a reflection of your situation, like weighing the pros and cons, the things that we do, the actions. So it's like you acknowledge that a life lesson is given to you, and you make the best out of it. This card also tells you, the resilience card here, that some people came in serious trouble with always spending small amounts of money. It actually relates to the first card. Sometimes if we spend small amounts of money, even though it's only very small amounts, but if that mounts up to a big amount. So sometimes that can bring us in some difficult situation, because without that we are even aware of it. So it can be like a weakness or a flaw. But this card asks you to be resilient and turn your situation into a positive advantage. So you should not focus on that, but you should be aware of this situation and focus on having some security here. This is what the central card, because the central card is the most important card. This is what the central card tells you. You need to be prepared for the unforeseen, for the bad times. So by applying this resilience, then, if there comes a storm, you will be prepared. And you will be prepared for the importance and the challenges of life. So this is an important lesson here you get from the cards here, pieces for the water group. I hope you enjoyed this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. If this video don't fit you, just check the other 3 videos that are following here. Thank you for watching, and see you maybe next time. Bye-bye for now. Hello, pieces, and welcome to the Air group, or the Aerosol group, for the month of September for the financial card reading. So as you can see here, you see the 3 cards here in front of me. I want to mention also, starting 27th of September, Mercury is running retrograde. So if you need to sign any form of contracts or arrangements, please do so before 27th of September, because when Mercury is starting to run retrograde, in general, it causes problems with contracts, arrangements, agreements. So do so before 27th of September. Mercury is running about 3 weeks retrograde, but I will mention next month when exactly that it's stopping. But it's not wise to sign a contract or an agreement during these 3 weeks. You will also see that that we have some news that is incorrect in the media, or if you take public transport, or if you go somewhere, that things are delayed. In general, it means that our mind from all the people is working a little bit slower. So being this said, we go ahead here now with the card reading. The first card we see here is the card about food. So it probably means that you need to take care of your food in general. What does that mean? Well, we live in a hectic world, and we have a certain standard of living. So, and also we have a certain budget that we are using for food. Now, as we know, we put food in our body, and it's our engine. So it's very important actually that we consume healthy. So this card is also about healthy food consumption. But also it relates and it asks you if you order a lot out. If you do so, probably because else this card would not be here, you tend to spend some serious amounts on takeout food or delivered food in your home. Or maybe you buy meals that are already finished and you take them home. This card tells you or asks you to eat more healthy. And also it asks you to get your pots and pans back out of the closet and start cooking more yourself. For starters, you could eat more cheaper, but especially you can eat more healthy. So you will get healthy, more healthy, and you would save money here. Of course, it's nice to eat in a restaurant or a fast food restaurant, but as we know, it costs money. And if we calculate all these small amounts, it amounts to enormous amounts. So this card asks you to budget, but especially to eat healthy, to take care of your health. You should here restrict yourself to the consumption of takeouts or meals that are already finished off, and then you should also not need to pay for it. This is what this card says. So it asks you to learn to enjoy the art of cooking again. You will eat healthy, cheaper, and you will save a lot of money. That is what this card is about. It's about healthy and being financially more off. So if you take a lot of orders from the outside, or you eat a lot outside, this card asks you to control this. Then here, the second card is the price of our conscience. It's about reflecting about things. So here, this card asks you to be aware of the way you spend money. And it's related to the first card, of course. So you need to think here, this card tells, for improving your situation more. Maybe you have noticed that in the last months, your financial situation is improved. So it means that you are becoming conscious of your situation. So you need to think more about improving yourself, for getting more safety for yourself. You are the architect of your life, and to improve this situation. Instead of staying status quo, this card asks you to try to save more, to control your savings. You need to do so if you encounter unforeseen events, because unforeseen events sometimes can influence the course of our life. We never know what happens, and this card tells you to be cautious. It's not a dramatic card, but it tells you to take care of yourself, to take care of your body and your mind. This is what these cards tells you. It asks you to reflect, to, if necessary, write down your impressions. Write down what you like about your current situation, and write down what you don't like. And in that way, you can improve yourself financially and also physically. This card wants to give you some perspective. That's why we see the vernaculars here. Sometimes it's easy to get carried away by life, and then at a certain point we come in a difficult situation, and then we think, oh, if I had known this, I had done the whole situation different for my body or for my mind. So these both cards are connected. So it asks you to take care of your body and your soul. So it asks you to become aware of your situation and think about solutions so you can improve your existence. But I think because this is a very good card laying here for the air group for this month, because the last card actually congratulates you. So it means, excuse me, it means that you have progressed already financially. Maybe you bought some things and you did some really nice investments, or you have some nice savings already gathered. And this card tells you that the months to come probably will be carefree. But we can never see, but this card actually tells you you come in a carefree period. Of course, we need to sail course every day and we never know what is coming, but this card normally is, it congratulates you and it tells you that you are stable for the coming weeks. So also it asks you to compare. You need to watch at your situation with a binocular and see where you come from and where are you now and where you want to go with yourself. That's why this card asks you to write everything down. The cards want you to improve yourself more for becoming financial more stable, and spend your money also in a different way. Eat more healthy, take a good perspective, and progress more. This is what these cards tells you. This is the card that tells you that you should be happy where you are now. It asks you to smile. It asks you to take a break and look where you come from. Maybe in the last year, you had a difficult time and now you're more carefree. So it also asks you to relax, to regain your breath and appreciate the road that you have been traveled before that might have been difficult. You are a little bit closer here, this card says, to the finish line. So savor today, celebrate your accomplishments, give yourself the gift of a well-deserved break, and take care of yourself for the future to come. If possible, make more savings because we never know what is coming. So Pisces, for the air group, this is all for this month. This is a very good laying year for the air group. I hope you enjoyed this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. If this card reading doesn't fit you at all, please check out the other 3 videos that are connected here. Thank you for watching and see you maybe next time. Bye-bye for now. Hello Pisces, and welcome to the Stone Group or the Earth Group for your financial card reading for September 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that Mercury is running retrograde starting 27 September. So this period, you need to be very careful with signing new contracts, starting new arrangements. Everything that you sign officially, you need to be very careful with that, because mostly if you do afterwards, some problems might pop up. The contract might not be in order, so you're advised to read the fine print very thorough. This period starts from 27 of September, and it's not advisable to sign contract in this period. It's about 3 weeks this period is going on. I will tell you next month exactly when the period is stopping. Also, you will see that you yourself, you are maybe sometimes you are late. People that visit you are later. There are some delays in mail, some messages that you receive, or some mail is coming late to you. It's all because our mind at that time is working a little bit slower. So be warned about this, and if you can, don't sign any contract starting 27 September. So then we go here with the financial reading here. We have the first card here, and we see here, this is the card of festivities. So probably it means if this card is here recently at the birthday or with recent holidays, you spend a lot of money on people around you, maybe some relatives close to you, some of your children, maybe your wife, or maybe all together you spend a lot of money here during festivities or birthdays. So this card asks you to think about that, to maybe balance this a little bit more out. And it asks you to see, I'm not talking about birthdays, I'm aware of that, but it asks you to see the value of money and how to balance that value that you spend to loved ones in money. Your wife or your children or your niece or your cousin will not love you less if you give them a present that is less expensive. This is what this card tells you. It's about the thought. It's about the idea. So this card asks you to balance these things. Of course, you can give some chocolates and then you can give small presents, but maybe if this card is here, you spend a little bit too much. That's why it might be here. Like, for instance, if we see Christmas as an example, people tend to see this as a drastic spending. There is actually no more limit. And people have forgotten what Christmas is about, or what sacred holidays are about. They don't even remember anymore. It turned into a celebration of abundance, and its real value, nobody remembers it anymore. So after this spending, sometimes we wake up with a hangover because we need to pay them in the months to come. Maybe we taken this from our credit cards, or maybe we used our last savings to do so, and some unexpected expenses came our way, and we are in a more difficult situation now. So this card asks you to remember why these festivals exist. Learn about the origin of Christmas, Easter, Valentine's Day, and also try to relative things with birthdays and people around you. Just balance it a little bit. As I said, these people will close to you will not love you any less. It's more about the attention, because the most precious gift in our current society that we have now is time. We are all very busy. We are constantly occupied with our work, with all things around us. And the most precious gift of all for most people now is time. So in general, people respect this much higher than a gift. So if you invest time in people around you, they're going to appreciate this enormously. So this card also, not to be fooled by advertising, marketing, all these things. It's if you need to express in feelings, just express it in a different way. That is what this card says. It's not about quantity, it's about the attention that we give to loved ones. That is what this card is about. The next card is, it says here, living beyond your means. So it's actually related here to this card. So it says, did you live beyond your means? So maybe you spend a lot, because else this card would not be here, and you recognize yourself here in this situation. So this card tells you it's best not to spend. If you bought presents on a credit card, this card tells you it's best not to spend money you don't have. Because eventually, if you keep spending, one day there is nothing more to spend. If the credit card is on the limit, there's nowhere anymore to go. Finished is finished. This is what this card says. Then you will hit the wall and the end. So the more the debt deepens, the more efforts you need to do to pay it. So, and also it asks you to realize the real cost of a purchase. Because if it's not paid by the end of the month, we will pay very high interests. Some credit cards have enormous high interests, and it's not anymore the gift that we bought, but sometimes we pay back enormous high fees. This is what this card wants you to make aware from the fees, the consequences of your buying. It's not about the gift, it's about the consequences this has, the interest that you pay. So you need to try here, this card says, try to balance yourself. Try to balance this account and try to control your spending here for people around you. If your card is in the minus, it has no added value to you. The only thing that is good for that is your bank. They are very happy. The more you spend, the more profits they gain because they charge you enormous interest. So they are the one actually who are winning the game. This is what this card tells you. So it asks you to safeguard yourself from these expenses. So it asks you not to go below zero, and if you are, to balance yourself. Also, this card tells you to watch out for expenses that are not really necessary, like for luxury expenses. What you don't really need, don't put it on the card. That is what this card says. And then the extreme of this card is, the higher step is, this card asks you if you, because that's the title here, are you living beyond your means? Are you living actually on credit? This is what this card tells you. So this card tells you to reflect on yourself, to limit yourself, and it asks you to go on an adventure and control yourself by using your credit cards. It asks you, are you able to do this? Then the last card that we have, it's actually an extension of this. It's actually displaying, it wants to help you, because this card says pay cash. What does this mean? Well, if you have literally lived beyond your means, one of the ways to balance yourself is paying cash. And maybe you ask yourself how to do this. Well, you go to the ATM, you get the money, and you put it in your wallet. That's the simplest, it's the old-fashioned way. But nobody of us, or very few of us, still work the old-fashioned way, because we pay with credit cards. But we keep paying, and eventually become in a very deep debt. So it asks you also, the same as the other card, to realize the purchase, the real cost of a purchase. So here, this card tells you to go to the bank machine, withdraw the money, put it in your wallet. So by using cash, you will actually take the money out of your wallet, you give it to the cashier or the person you need to pay to, and this causes like a psychological effect, and it causes you a form of pain. Because why? You see the money disappearing out of your wallet. You think then after a while, you bought several things, necessary or not, and then you think, oh my God, the money is gone again. And that is the purpose of this card, that you actually realize that you are paying, that you see the banknotes disappearing out of your wallet. And then with this method, you will make a connection between the payments, and you will see the difference between the cash payments and the bank payments. And it will make you aware how you spend money. If you use paper money again, it will learn you the value of the money. This is what this card is about. So this card tells you here, if you would be in a difficult financial situation, I'm assuming so, or because you bought some presents, or you buy some things that were unavoidable or avoidable, this card tells you to take charge of your wallet, and it asks you to try to pay cash to balance yourself out for a few months. And in general, this helps. This helps you the way you spend money. You will see, it will make you control your money back. It asks you to take the challenge for limiting the control of your credit cards. That is what this card is about, and asks you to pay cash. So, Pisces, for the Stone Group, this is all for now. I hope you enjoyed this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you for doing so. If this card reading don't fit you, check out the other 3 videos that are here connected to it, and maybe the other 3 videos will fit you more. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time, and thank you for subscribing. See you. Bye-bye. Hello, Pisces, and welcome to the Fire group for the month of September for the sign of Pisces. Before I start, I want to mention that Mercury is running retrograde, meaning if you need to sign contracts, agreements, please do so before 27th of September, because Mercury is running retrograde starting that date, meaning if you sign contract after that date, sometimes it causes problems. In general case, it causes problems. Something is not right with the contract will be annullated, the contract will cause you problems, you yourself want to get out of the contract. So starting that date, it's wise not to sign contracts anymore. This is for a period of 3 weeks that you need to try to avoid contracts. If you cannot avoid of signing any form of contract, whatever, for a house, for a loan, whatever, if you cannot avoid, please double, triple check the fine print so no problems will pop up afterwards. Also, you will see that there are some more delays in traffic, communication, letters come slower to you, packages will arrive. We are a little bit slower in the way our mind works. So this is all connected to the Mercury retrograde. But the most important is that you try to avoid signing contracts after 27th of September. So the first card here we see here is a visual reminder. This is about use of bank cards. So what does this mean? So probably despite your best of intention, we all are easy to use our credit cards, but maybe nothing helps, and you use your credit card very often, and you actually would used to like them less. So this is like a card that tells you, lets you reflect on your necessities, the importance of the items that you buy or that in your basket. So maybe you, for now, you are in not an easy situation, or maybe the situation that you spend a little bit too much, because these cards are not so dramatic, but maybe you spend a little bit too much in the last months. This card tells you, did you spend too much again? That's why the glasses are here. So it asks you if you spend up too much. So for avoiding this in the future, this card wants to learn you something. A simple trick is here connected to this card is that you put on the side of your credit card a small sticker. And if you are about to pay, you see the small sticker. The sticker it's like a stop sign. Like a stop sign you see on the card. And if you make the intention to pay, you see, and you think, oh, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to pay it. I'm going to pay again. This is what this card wants to teach you. It wants you to set up visual reminders for stopping you to use your credit card too much and possibly overconsume. So this is what this card is about. Also, like if you do a lot of online shopping, like most of us do these days, it asks you, for instance, also to change your passwords in something like that reminds you that you're going to spend money again. Like you change your password. I just give an example. You change the password in reasonable or truly necessary. So it reminds you that you're about to pay money from your accounts. So you will think twice then before you actually confirm the transaction. Of course, you will need to change those passwords and the visual aids on regular basis, because your brain will get used to them. So, and on the long run, it don't work anymore. But this card wants to help you for starting to minimize your credit card less. That is what the point is of this credit card. So it asks you to be creative and administer those small reminders, so you don't, so you spend less money if you would be in some kind of financial less fortunate situation. The second card here is the card of youth. So what does this mean? Well, you know the famous diction, boys will be boys and girls want to have fun. Well, this card actually replies on that one. This is a card related to that. We all spend money, but sometimes maybe you have outbursts, because this is a card about outbursts. So sometimes we buy impulsive. So this is a card that is related to outbursts that we have if we buy some things, maybe to give us a good feeling. This is what this card is about. It doesn't matter what age you are. Some people can manage cash manage very well. For other people, it's an impossible task. So this card asks you to reflect about that. Normally, as we get older, we become more aware of the situation. We get more perfect as we get older, and we are more aware in the way we spend. This is the normal circle of life. Of course, some people of us get quickly the hang of this, and hold their consumption habits under control. Others have more problems with it, and others never come over this. So this card asks you to reflect and asks you to position where you really are. This card asks you, are you the mature type, or you still have spendthrift, or you still have outbursts? So this card asks you, remember, you're never too young to be financially mature, and you're never too old to change your financial behavior. If you have the advantage of youth, well, and at the same time, this card tells you that soon you will have better rewards. You will be rewarded. If you have the assets of being older and wiser and experienced, then it asks you to use those abilities in your own advantage. Enjoy life, but balance yourself, and then you will have rewards coming to you soon. The last card we see here is about food and the way we eat, and if we eat healthy or not. So if this card is here, this card is mostly related to our health and our food consumption. As we all know, we live in a very hectic world today, and we have a certain standard of life. Sometimes we work a lot, and takeout and ordering out is becoming part of our daily lives. But you see here, the money falls in the carriage here. So it means it takes a very big piece of our budget. If we always order takeout, at the end of the month, if you see your invoices, you will see it's a lot of money. And this card asks you to reflect on that. Maybe it's related to this card. Maybe you use your credit cards about this, and this card asks you here to live more healthy financially and also physically. So this card asks you to think. It asks you, if you can, like, you start cooking again. Instead of always takeout, go to the store a few times a week, buy some fresh foods and cook them yourself. Master the art of cooking again. You will become more healthy, and at the same time, you will save a lot of money, because this card is connected to your health financially and physically. So this card wants you to pay attention on that, but especially to the large amount that you probably spend for it. It wants you to cook and leave the path of the hefty bills for the takeout foods. So it asks you to break the chain of overspending money for takeout foods, and it wants you to cook again and eat healthy. It wants you to learn the joy of the culinary art. You can watch a lot on YouTube here. There's a lot of movies here or videos here for eating healthy. So you can find a lot here. So you will be healthier yourself as a person, and you probably will lose weight without you actually want it, and you will be financially better off. This is what this card is about. So, Pisces, for the fire sign or the fire group for the month of September, this is all. I hope you enjoyed your card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading did not fit you, there are 4 videos, so one of the videos will match you better. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you for doing so, and see you maybe next time. Bye-bye for now. Thank you.